Before the video begins, I'd like to give a shout out and thank you to the people on screen for supporting me on Patreon. Enjoy the video. Hello and welcome to another episode of Sega GT Part 14, and in this part, we've got another little deal to take care of in the act of the one make small cup race, which will be the last of the naturally aspirated, and then after that, we're going to be doing some official racing with the extra class. And of course, I'm going to be using the Jumpskorpia X4 as I mentioned in the previous part. And let's go a little bit silly with this, cause why not? I just want to see how much I can make out of this thing. Let's put a lot of power down into this Jumpskorpia X4. 240 horsepower in an E-class car that doesn't even make 1,000 cc. Yes, that is that gets me all sorts of excited. So I'm just gonna. Might as well just put a clutch on it, why not? And I don't think I really need a suspension for a car like this, especially because I'm probably not going to use it a whole lot after this. So, I probably didn't even need the brakes either, but whatever, they're there. The one that I probably should have just really skipped over was the tires here. But you know, it is what it is. And then the last thing which I do want to put on this thing is weight reduction. So, how much does this car weigh now? It's an E-class car. So it's got to already weigh pretty light. A total of 1,613 pounds. Interesting. Now, of course, 240 horsepower is not the most this thing will make. You'll obviously see why that is. But before that, let's just get into the small with the one-make small car race. It is a Sky Peak Track Reverse again, Great Rock Road Reverse, and Night Section A with only a champion first of 10,000. So not as much as the naturally aspirated thing. But of course, because it's one make, every car is going to be the same, which means whichever you bring, the AI will have something for that. So there is the actual power output. 264 horsepower in this tiny ass Daihatsu. Let's exactly see how it gets on with the tracks here. Now, Sky Peak Track should at least be a pretty good way to kind of see the amount of speed it's going to be making. Just, you know, simply because, even though it's such a small track, it can be good to kind of see the amount of power it makes. And I just had to, like, kind of check something for a second, which is why I didn't skip that right away. And also, because four-wheel drive, it means it kind of doesn't spin its wheels at the start. And also might handle really well, too, as a result, which is always nice. Well, I do think it's going quicker than the beat is, at least, but I don't know. No, maybe it's just me, and man, I stutter sometimes. It really gets to me, but maybe it's just me. It feels like this thing could be quicker with the amount of power it's making. I don't know. 33,033. Too bad it wasn't 33,333, and got to pole by almost. Very close to, but almost 3 seconds. Of course, and the slowest Storia was a 39.9. If that one does anything better than starting in if that one does any better than 3 points after this, I will be surprised. Not that I'm going to be able to tell. Well, it looks like oh no, okay, I was wrong. I thought maybe every Storia in the field was actually the special red one, but nope, there are 2 white ones and 2 standard white Storias in the field. It's actually one of the things I like about this game too, is that in like Gran Turismo, for example, I don't think you'll ever see like Gran Turismo 3, which is like kind of when they really, you know, Gran Turismo 1 and I think in some ways Gran Turismo 2, not as much, but Gran Turismo 1, Gran Turismo 3, Gran Turismo 4, you know, like you get all those cars with like the special colors. I don't think you ever see the AI drive the special color variants, I don't think. I certainly don't remember it off of memory, for sure, that is. But in this game, Sega GT, the AI will drive the special colored variants that are in the game. So that's why, and you know, it's really nice because it means like it wouldn't just be a complete field of the bog standard white Storia. It's got quite a few red Storias in there as well. In fact, more. In fact, there's 4 of them, including my own, and then there's just 2 of the standard white ones. Now, if there was one more lap in this, I probably could have had the potential to lap these guys, but not quite enough to reach them. Oh well. At least I wouldn't have been too far off by the point of starting that next lap. So, we got the fastest lap there, 27.172, at a new best total of 127.977. I'm not even really gonna bother sitting through these because all the stories they list exactly the same, so I'm not really gonna be able to tell which is which. Oh well, that is slightly better. The prize money from the sponsors you get is better than that of the naturally aspirated one. So you do at least get your swings and roundabouts somewhat, despite the lower championship purse. Nice. All right, so Great Rock Road Reverse, a track we haven't really seen a whole lot of. I mean, we didn't see Sky Peak Track Reverse until the last part, but you know, you get what I mean. There's still one track we haven't seen at all whatsoever throughout this LP that I will see. In fact, actually, now that I think about it, I was probably going to do some official races after this part for part 15, but I've come up with something else now. You'll see what that is when I mention it at the end of the video. Now, can I get a sub 102 in this Storia? Okay, that got... Oh, that was pretty bad. Like, really ugly bad. But whatever. But can I still at least get kind of close to the time? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think I might actually. I know it's kind of a bit of ways over there, but yeah, I think I'm still gonna get it. Nice. Even with that disastrous sharp corner, 57.3. How far back were the others? A 102.4. So the other Storias, there was a couple of them that did actually get to that 102 barrier where the fast lap was, but none of them surpassed sub 102, and obviously no sub 1 minute. Only me. So haha. Anyways, let's get right into the action here, shall we? I'm pretty sure the starting grid is exactly the same. Maybe, I think. Could be wrong though. I would probably have to actually be sitting through these the transitions at the start to really figure that out. But I'm too lazy to do that. And also because I suspect that you guys don't want to have to see it every time. Okay, there we go. That was a lot better through there. No massive hitting of the walls or nothing. Just, you know, kind of slow and steady, and then getting out mostly clean. I don't mind if the car hits there because it kind of gives me the angle I want. Obviously, I know I'm not going to be lapping these guys, but imagine if I did. And there we go, 56.476 there. That was an even better lap, and that's just a standing start. So, the standing start lap, and I've already beaten the fastest lap that was available here. Yeah, it's gonna hit a little bit. Oh, that rubbed off a bit more speed than I was expecting. Ah. I swear to God, like, that corner has always been an issue for me all these years of playing this game. Because it's really hard to get enough angle and enough of a turning radius to where exactly you want the car to be pointing towards. It's always tricky for me. Actually, wait a second. I think in the last part, because I imagine someone might ask, maybe, I don't know. I did mention there was kind of like a vehicle in the E-Class that I have no idea how you're supposed to unlock. I don't think I ever finished it, so in this game, there is apparently a Mitsubishi mini cab, which is kind of like one of those little key trucks, those tiny vehicles with like the truck bed that you see that are kind of popular in Japan. There's a mini, and you can unlock the mini cab in the game, but I have no idea what you're supposed to do to unlock it. After, like, it's there, but I don't know what exactly the flags are to basically tell the game, oh hey, you have unlocked this, because you can't buy it from the Mitsubishi dealership, you can't find it in the used car dealership, and you can't win it as a prize car, at least that I know of. So you win it somehow, and I don't know what that somehow is. If anyone does know, please feel free to let me know. Anyways, with that, but regardless, there we get our 1,000 for winning, the chain bonus of 1,000, and so yeah, in total, that is about 7,500. So yeah, pretty good. So we have just one more to go, and that is Night Section A. So let's do our little qualifying shenanigans. See how we get on. But yeah, it's really weird though. It's like it's just a Mitsubishi mini cab. It's like, and the thing too is like I was thinking maybe it's a car that's like in the files. Maybe you have to get it from like the Japanese version. I think I tried the Japanese version, and I still can't find it there, so I don't know how you're supposed to get it. It's just one of those things that's like like a complete mystery to me. Just like, of course, the other mystery is why did the other versions of the game get rid of 4 of the Carrozzeria bodies, which technically they didn't. It's not that they got rid of them. It's just that they made them inaccessible normally. Like, they are still in the files, and they can still easily be accessed, but you can't. It's just that you can't normally get them. There's also like another like really interesting thing too. I found out was that some of the cars that would be in the European version are actually kind of hidden away in the American version of the game. I think. Specifically, I think it's a couple of the Mercedes-Benz vehicles, because the Mercedes-Benz vehicles aren't in the North American version of the game normally, but they are sitting there in the files, which probably means when they were making the North American version of this game, the cars were likely in the process of being made at the time when they released it, because they probably knew, okay, well, the European release is going to be coming out later, so. And we're just gonna put it there because it's a German car, so it's Europe. It makes sense. So it never was normally accessible, but it is there in the files. Oh, hey, one of the white stories did better this time around. But yeah, it's there, and you can actually drive it, and it drives fine and everything like you would expect. It's just not normally accessible. And what makes it even more interesting is I tried a European save on a North American version that has like the Clio trophy, so basically my save. What I find out what the game does is with the Clio trophy, the game just puts a random template vehicle, which apparently is the Subaru Clio RS, puts it in like one of the usual colors you can get it in. And like the menu becomes like a really bright red, like brighter than the red that's normally in the menus. It is very weird, and I've not attempted trying to drive it because I suspect if I did that, the game would probably crash. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, just seeing things like that, just kind of those those interesting anomalies. It's just it just happens to be one of those things. But anyways, it's just might be something that maybe one day I'll have to get like Zen or something, and we'll have to ravage through and discover like maybe there's more to it than we thought. I mean, we probably would test with the European version first, because it has the most stuff, but who knows. I'll have to bring that up with him at some point, if he would happen to know anything about that. It's also one thing I want to figure out with him, too, because of course, everyone knows, I'm sure a lot of you know I really like the Tokyo Extreme Racer games and everything. I mean, I've LP TXR 1 and 2, and I've Stream LP 3 and 0 and 3. Apparently TXR, I think TXR 2 apparently has a stage 6 engine. Because I think normally in that game it only goes up to 5, but I guess as part of like the connectivity part with the Dreamcast, there was if you kind of like downloaded something, you could get like a 6-stage engine part, which is really interesting. So you would probably be able to get more power out of the cars. I'd have to like look into it, but I'm very curious to see if there's any way I could perhaps find that and toy around with it a little bit and see what could be possible. It's one of those things. It's just like it starts to really kind of flow my creative interest and my creative juices. But you know, maybe at some point I'll have to get around to doing that. Another thing too that I'm sure some of you will who might be in the Dreamcast emulation scene will be questioning: how come you're not just emulating this on Redream? Because Redream is, you know, got a lot of advancements, including like loading times being like really damn fast in this game. And the reason just because this Redream does not emulate this game correctly. It emulates it properly for the most part, but the sound, like the menu sounds, like because it uses like a kind of like audio bank stuff that I think the game's the way is coded to kind of play in certain ways. It doesn't play properly in Redream as a result. It's perfectly fine in Demule, and no, I remember in Null DC it didn't work out like properly at all. It was like notes would play it like every 5 seconds or so. It was like really bad, but basically the reason I play Demule is because for this game it's the best emulated representation of what Sega GT is supposed to play like right now. Redream. All Redream needs to do is just fix the little music issues. It would probably become the best, just because it has those improved loading times and everything. But yeah, that's why I'm using Demule for those of you emulation fans. For those of you curious as to why I've been doing it like this. So, for another 1,000, a 2,000 chain bonus, a 7,500 prize thing from my sponsors, and the 10, you know, all the point stuff there. $10,000, and what's the car we're gonna get? Ooh, it's another bright red car, but this time it's an Audi TT. Interesting. Very interesting, in fact. So we go from a red Civic to a red TT. Which one is it? Ooh, it's even the better one, too. The 225 horsepower model. So it's the one with more power. That's nice. I like that. Yeah, I'll probably definitely have to use the TT for something at some point. Just like how I also want to use the Civic for something. But yeah, the red TT certainly is brighter than the red Civic. Like it's got like a brighter shade to it. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed that. Certainly had stuff to talk about, which is good, because I like being able to kind of get my mind focused on stuff when I'm doing these recordings, because it kind of, to me, it makes it feel like a better recording. So stay tuned to the next part. I said I was going to do some official races. I think what I'm actually going to do is obtaining the B-Class factory license. So stay tuned for that, and as always, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you want to come watch my streams, go click the description box below to come follow me on Twitter, watch me on Twitch, and to help support the channel by donating to my Patreon if you so desire. I will see you all on the next one.